fly under the radar, as some people may call them hidden gems. That seems to be a very popular topic and a key word to spark people's interest about sleeper fragrances. Joints that you may have heard of once or twice but really haven't given any thought to, or maybe brands that you've never heard of that may potentially have a sleeper that might interest you. Now I'm gonna put you on to 8 different fragrances by some houses you may or may not have heard of, that each one has their own individual characteristic for the type of man, person, individual, whatever. And these are all beautiful pieces, solid, each have their own personality behind them. So let's roll my fucking music so I can put you on to 8 hidden gems, AKA sleepers that are bangers.
I'm kind of a big
Blessed morning, my beautiful peoples. You know who it is. It's your boy, C to the U to the B to the A. Let's jump right into the video. I'm gonna start off with a fragrance that I bought in Osme in my trip to Miami.
My pen move on autofill, automated thoughts process, my mind's recess. I just dig the gems for the thesis, the missing pieces. We're always found in the places where you least expect them. The low I had to die for my
In walking around the store, I just wanted to see brands that I don't get the opportunity to see, have never heard of. Anything that was completely new, unique, and maybe slightly weird looking. And this fragrance definitely caught my attention. It was a recommended piece by Maurice and he hit the nail right on the head because it has a boozy chocolatey element that really just sparked my nasal cavity, and I was like, ooh, sold. I've never heard of this house or of this particular fragrance. You guys already know how my pronunciations are. This one's called Fuiguia and this one is called, oh lord, Oxocolt. Bro, this is the name of the house and this is the name of the fragrance. Bear with me, fam. I believe the house is, I think he said it's South America, Venezuela or Argentina, something like that. But the presentation is lit. But apparently this is manufactured and distributed in Italy. So maybe I'm confused. I don't know. Here's what the presentation is. I cut the slot over it, opens up like so, and it has a couple of little pieces in here. Very nice presentation, super cool. Look at that joint. I guess there's a breakdown here. It's a gourmand floral with cacao, rum, and vanilla. The Aztecs created a delicacy known as oxocotal using cocoa leaves. To enrich the flavor, they extracted and blended the vanilla from the orchids. So apparently, oxocotal is a drink, the drink of privilege of nobles and warriors. I'm definitely not a noble or warrior. So I guess this is like their little test strip right here, which is dope. They added that element here. Little pamphlet or booklet here with a quality control check. That's very dope. I actually like that. Slide this joint out. I don't want to break it. Very beautiful presentation. I didn't get to see the whole presentation. I just smelled the fragrance. There's a little sleeve there. And this is what the fragrance bottle looks like. Very beautiful. Is that wood? No, plastic. Plasticky, gorgeous scent profile. I forgot how much this fragrance cost. I think it was like 2 and change. But let's just smell this joint real quick on its actual test strip, because this joint was a beautiful, boozy, I just sprayed this all over my face, vanillic scent profile that still keeps that same energy. Wow. Beautiful, floral, white, bright, boozy, but in that fall and winter space that has a very seductive, cinnamony kind of element to it that's uber attractive. Definitely in my space. It's been a couple of weeks since I haven't smelled this joint. Oh man, they coming. Ooh, they coming. Definitely realized what intoxicated me about this fragrance. It's right up, it's the right amount of booze. Although it's rum, it feels not like a dark rum, it feels like a white rum, like un rum blanco. Just the right amount of chocolatey vibe, a gorgeous scent profile. Very seductive, very sexy, right up my wheelhouse. This is a house that I smelled a few fragrances on, and all the fragrances actually smelled beautifully natural. But this one in particular, again, it's called That Took the Cake. So sleeper, banger fragrance that you may have never heard of. Next one. If you've been in FragCom for a while, you've absolutely heard about this scent, but it's still a sleeper. It's still a hidden gem. Most people won't wear this joint. They probably forgot that they had it when this had a little bit of a hype bubble maybe 7 years ago. It was lit in these streets because it was super inexpensive and a recreation of the old school Valentino V, and that's Rasasi de Rej. This joint screams old school with a new school twist. Super sexy, violety scent profile, bright, amazing when it comes to the performance. Lively, going out, date night, sexy, seductive, creamy, sweet, dark, peppery, sexy, clubby style vibe. Great bang for the buck. People are sleeping on this joint right now. I think y'all should revisit the YouTube archives and see other content creators, not just myself, speak about this particular gem. If you're old school like me and you remember Valentino V and how difficult it is to get that particular fragrance, you can get that for a fraction of the price with equally as amazing performance as this joint has. So this joint, Darèche, absolute sleeper. Next one. Now these next two fragrances that I'm gonna put you guys on to speak in that classy, gentlemanly vibe. And that first one that I'm gonna be talking about is Cubaknow Homme. You gotta test strip and revisit this puppy. Yeah, buddy. Sexy, shaving foamish, citric, masculine. You got that cashmere kind of wool sensation. Sweet, woody, sexy. Grown man's man. This is elegance in a bottle. Amazing performance with this particular scent profile. Haven't reached for it in a significant amount of time, but in going through the stash, I figured other people might be on the same boat. If you start collecting fragrances like I do, things start to get lost in the mix and some hidden gems start to get lost in the mix. And that can potentially happen with some of us who collect or some of us who are just checking out to find some secret joints. If you're looking for a classy, work safe, that's easily translatable to after work, sexy, wedding, christening, baptism, whatever the case may be, Cubaknow Homme absolutely hits the nail on the head. Quality, sexy, fresh, signature scent worthy, absolutely man's man scent profile along with this next one. Let's speak facts. This designer is one of the staples when it comes to elegant menswear, and that's Brioni Pour Homme EDT. Bright, citric, man's man. Sexy, mature, sophisticated, educated, and just overall faithful man. Those are rare. Just the right amount of citric and powderiness on this fragrance. You get a little bit of that violet kind of action, like a little Fahrenheit-ish kind of flow. And then you start getting that black Twizzler vibe, that little star anise kind of black licorice vibe. Super sexy, very delicate, extremely elegant, but man's man for sure. This is something that complements one of their Brioni suits or their full menswear. From head to toe, absolute masculine, debonair fit. That is a sleeper fragrance. For those who are of the older demographic or somebody who works on Wall Street or in some financial business or investments or whatever the case may be, you hedge fund dudes, I'm sure I have one of you that watch me. If you haven't experienced Brioni Eau de Toilette, you definitely need to check this one out. Super sexy. Next one. Now let's get into the floral aspect, the light, the earthy, the sexy, the comforting. These next two really fit that marker perfectly. The first one I've mentioned in a couple of videos in the past, that's by Perfumology, and this is Lima, which I believe it's grandma or something like that, or like Nana. One of the most beautiful, soft, white, floral, green, airy fragrances I've ever encountered. This is a grandmother's kiss and hug. If you miss your grandma or your Nana or your Mima, this will bring you back. Not that it smells like an old lady at all. It's just that comforting factor. It's that brisk, beautiful airiness coming through the windows from a gorgeous garden. You smell the wet, dewy grass. You smell the florals that take so much dedication and watching and planting, and the soil is right and water. You get all of that plus like a really big hand-sewn comforting blanket and that hug. This is a beautiful, soft, casual scent profile that I promise you have to try and experience before making any kind of assumptions. I truly don't know if they sell this continuously now or even do a sample. That's something you would have to reach out to Perfumology on, but it's so incredible. It's a beautiful scent profile. It's rare to get one of these kind of fragrances that's easily casually worn, that bring down your anxiety level and just bring back that memory of just that warm hug, that maternal kind of comfort level that this fragrance has. An absolute sleeper. No other fragrance in my lineup, and I'm saying this wholeheartedly, no other fragrance in my lineup can produce this kind of just like nostalgia. It's an incredible fragrance by the house of Perfumology. If they do sell it, and I really hope they do, I hope you guys have at least an opportunity to sample Lima by Perfumology. It's grandma's hug and it's amazing. Next one. One of the most incredible budget fig fragrances that I have experienced, Molinard's Figuet. I gotta revisit this shit. I love fig fragrances, and this was one of those that blew me away. Wow, oof, that was pretty instant. That was pretty instant. It's citrus and it's fig with the right amount of sweetness, some earthiness, some body. I believe I had this joint for like $35. Definitely way more value than what you're actually paying. If you're a person who likes this soily, sweet, yet dry, figgy, citrus, sexy, kind of deep scent profile, but with that being said, still have this beautiful element of freshness of a fragrance that you've just never smelled anything like it, Molinard knocked this one out of the park. I haven't smelled a ton of Molinard fragrances, but this one still ranks at #1 for me. It's a beautiful, beautiful scent profile. You have to enjoy fig. And even if you don't, if you want to step into the fig space and really smell some herbaceous kind of green, soily, yet extremely wearable and actually quite sexy fig vibes, this, for the price, can't be beat. Next one. Now, some of us want to get into that funky oud space and really want some dense, deep, slight funkish oudi vibes, then I would have to say Istanbul Soul by Algabra is up there. This joint got the right amount of funkete that you're looking for. And it's surprising, there's a lot of dudes out there that love that pure oud, cuminy kind of smell that has that funk undertone that really works beautifully off their skin. I know a good handful of dudes that they prefer this shit over anything all year round. No matter what season, they want a little bit of cumin, they want a little bit of oud, they like that agarwood vibe, they like that funkete, and that is who this is built for. It's dried down on this test strip. I didn't do a fresh spray. I wanted to do a full dry down on this piece. It's clove, incense, oud, cumin. I don't know if there's vanilla in here, but I'm definitely getting like a little vanilla creamy action here. This shit is a beast. It's a grenade. Fall, winter for me only, but it is a sleeper for those who want these powerhouse fragrances that live in the space of something like an interlude man blue beast, Perfumes de Marley Habdan, or even something like an Ancre Noir. Istanbul Soul by Algabra. Beast! Enough said. And finally, I want to say this joint is like the original creamsicle fragrance. I tell people before Ultra Zest by A-Man came in the scene, Vince Camuto's Solara was that beast. Bro, this is just creamsicle vibes all day, every day. Beautiful, citric, mass appeal, designery, non-offensive, creamy, with just the right amount of spices in this joint. Super sleeper, perfect for the summertime, casual fit only. I don't think this is a full dressed up type vibe, but you can pull it off. Maybe a little bit of a sports coat and a t-shirt or v-neck after if you got that little picadillo just chilling with that little chain sitting on the pillow of hair. That could be a vibe. Shout out to everybody in Brooklyn and Staten Island. This is the original Ultra Zest kind of DNA with that creamsicle vibe. Beautiful, easy to wear, sleeper fragrance, pretty decent performance, at least the older variations like this one, but OG, simple, sexy to the point, and definitely a sleeper. There you go, bro. 8 hidden gems in different categories. You got sweet, sleeper, signature, mass appeal, gentlemanly, stinky, hug from grandma, and boozy. I hit you with everything. I love y'all mother suckers from the heart. Like, share, and subscribe. Let me know what your hidden gems are, and maybe I'll showcase them in another video and see if your selections are on point. I'll see y'all snitches next time. You know who it is, biggest in the game. Smooches.
For the fly gun holder, money folder, molar roller, start attack when it's time to call back. For the rough, rugged, and raw way, this nigga Jay, it's a game, but he don't play. Hey, for all the chicks that got dead in the penthouse suite on top of my mom's crib. It's nonsense you never get in. It's nonsense that you would think that you would.